Do 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 do. Hello. What's going on, you guys? We're kind of taking a nice, kind of soft stream tonight. My second channel. Usually I play video games on at this time, but I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna hang out. We're gonna hang out on here. Just gonna hold my guitar. So if you guys want to, ask questions, talk about music, guitar, video games, streaming, whatever you guys want to, you're more than welcome to. Maybe I should turn on my background. Yeah, there we go. Looks kind of cool, doesn't it? Was anybody here earlier? Anybody watching the show earlier? Avril says, does anyone watch Stranger Things? I haven't seen anything past the second season. I didn't like the second season that much. Yeah, the first season was really good. Let's see here. XL says, random question, do you play Terraria? Oh, Terraria. I have played it. I have it. I never beat it. For some reason, it just never clicks with me, man. It has not clicked with me. Has anyone played Terraria? For me, it was like it came out around the same time as Minecraft. Minecraft was so much more interesting and fun to me. It was more intuitive. Terraria, I still don't understand. I know somebody who plays Terraria every night, and I don't get it. And I'm not saying it's a bad game. I just don't know how to play it. I don't know what it is. I don't understand it. But it's very strange. Yeah, if you guys got questions talking about guitar, music, streaming, video games, whatever you want to. And if you're really enjoying the show, tap the screen. You can send a gift if you're enjoying it. Oh, let me take down this goal because we didn't hit it earlier. Yeah, we'll just make that invisible. Pew. There we go. Masked Viewer says, literally fixing to ask what your thoughts on Minecraft are. Oh, it's an incredible game. One of my favorite games of all time. Definitely in the top 20, 50, I don't know, games. I don't know. But I remember the day it came out, at least to me, I watched a video about it, and I went, wow, this game looks incredible. This is pre-alpha, so the beds were all red, and there was no weather in the game. I think this was 2010. So I played Minecraft before there was weather in the game. Really enjoyed it, played it for a year, and then I didn't go back to it for decades. It's crazy. Anybody else Minecraft? Let's see here. If you guys are asking me to play music, you missed the music portion of the show. I'm so sorry. You blew it. I played music for 3.5 hours today. We're just kind of hanging out. Sorry. If you want to talk about music, I can. But if it's, can you play this song? No. Sorry, buddy. We're just chatting. And I'm holding a guitar. Yeah, Minecraft. We used to have a Minecraft server, actually. My stream did. Interesting. Mass Viewer says, I know Zoe, but I don't really care. Huh. Yeah, we don't let people, not on my stream. You're not gonna, don't share your age on the stream. Don't do that. That's not only to protect yourself or whoever it is, but yeah, I don't want to be involved if you're doing that. Interesting. I'm talking to the people who matters, you guys. For those of you who decided to share it anyways. Don't worry, nobody cares about you. Keys, hello. Rise says, hey, dude, new subscriber here. What's your favorite guitar in your collection? I like my white and black Strat. I've had this for like 20 years. I've had this for a long time. The neck is perfect on it. Plays perfectly, sounds perfectly. I love it. Every guitar that I've owned since, I compare it to. And I always think, is this as good as my main Strat? So, I love it. It's great. Dayton says, hey, Pat, haven't been here in a really long time. That's nice. Not a question, though. I appreciate it. If you learned Nowhere Man, that's awesome, man. But we're kind of just, chatting about stuff. That's awesome. You learned something, though. But, yeah, we're just kind of answering questions, talking about music, guitar, video games, streaming. Dayton says, do you remember me? That is something little kids say to me. Are you a little kid? Whenever somebody comes in and goes, do you remember me? Do you remember me? I'm like, that's a little kid. Key says, what games do you play? Oh, I've been playing Fallout a lot recently. Big Fallout fan. But I went back to play it with mods. Great question. Yeah, I played Fallout 3. I played Fallout New Vegas with a ton of mods, and it was really, really fun. I've never really modded Bethesda games before, but apparently that's like the thing to do. And I see why. They're incredibly fun. I've been playing Fallout 4. Which is the sucky one, right? Besides 76. That's the worst one. But I played Fallout 4 and with mods, and it was amazing. Way, way better. Way, way better than it was. Anybody Fallout? Anybody fan of Fallout? Crazy fun. So if you've never played Fallout 4 with mods, because Fallout 4 it has a bunch of weird little issues with it. It doesn't really play well. The weapons are kind of bad. The leveling up is kind of bad. There's a bunch of bad stuff in it. If you want Fallout 4 to play like Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3, you should play the mod pack called Lore Out. Oh, it's so much fun. Oh my God, is it fun? It's great. I love it. Let's see here. Nana says, Fallout 76 isn't terrible. Why do you hate it? It's pretty bad. I wouldn't say it's an awful game. Fallout 76 is bad because you spend a ton of time doing a bunch of, like, menial tasks. Like, people who really like Fallout 76 really like MMORPGs. So they're, like, easily tricked into thinking they're playing a fun game. Like, no offense. Like, if you like it, that's fine. But you're being tricked into playing a game that just sucks in all your time and money and all that stuff. So, like, for example, people who played Fallout 3, 2, 1, New Vegas, they really enjoy Fallout, even Fallout 4. I have a lot more respect for people who play Fallout 4 than 76. But Fallout 4, those games were largely around the story. It's largely about role-playing, whereas Fallout 76 is largely about being a junk collector, garbage dumpster, and you make a house. Which, if you enjoy that, dude, there's a time and place. The Sims. The Sims is a great game when you just build a house and you have little interactions with stuff, and it's fun. The Sims is fun. But if you go from a really good single-player campaign with, like, interesting interactions with certain areas and having challenging weapons, gameplay, and, whether you want to sneak around and be a stealth character, if you want to be, like, a heavy guns user, all that stuff, that's all there. But 76 really watered it down. I compare Fallout 76 to a Diet Coke where the ice melted. Like, it's still soda, but it's really not what you want. And if you do enjoy it, again, that's fine. But you have to think about all the people that had a nice ice-cold, like, glass of Coke, right? And they were expecting that, and when they took a sip of yours, they went, oh, it's warm. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So it's one of those experiences where it's just not it's you took one thing that was good and then made it bad. You know what I mean? So if it started out that way, it'd be totally different. But yeah, it's not very good. Yeah. It's not a great experience. So yeah, but if you like it, like I said, dude, enjoy it. But for the people who had something and then it got taken away from them, we're not happy about it. So that's what you got to feel about it. Anyways, let's see here. Any other questions? Anything else, you guys? Anybody a big fan of Fallout, the series? Any other game questions? Music questions? West Dog says Pepsi over Coke. Interesting. They're both about the same to me, man. They're just, soda. Tastes fine. Key says, have you ever played Kingdom Hearts? Not really. I dated a girl who loved Kingdom Hearts when I was a senior in high school. And I think I played it for about 1 minute. So I never really got into it. So sorry about that. Anything else? Any other questions? Alex says, any new music coming out soon? I'm not answering that. Robert says Foo Fighters are mid. I actually kind of agree with that. I think Foo Fighters have some really great songs, but for the most part, I don't really listen to their music that much. Even though I play it on the show. Isn't that funny? I like some songs. I love some of the songs. Other songs I don't really care. The first album from Foo Fighters, really enjoyed it. Everything after that, never really got it super interested. If you like Foo Fighters, again, hey, you enjoy what you enjoy. But yeah, I'm more of a, different kind of music fan than that. But again, some stuff's really good. Some of the stuff's really, really good. N says, as for music, Pink Floyd, yay or nay? Love Pink Floyd, dude. Super fan. Love Pink Floyd. You get that. Trying to think, what's a Pink Floyd song I kind of know how to play? Gotta be crazy. Gotta have a real need. Dude, Dogs. Animals is one of my favorite albums of all time. I moved cross country recently. And I moved a couple states over. And took a long time to drive there. And I listened to nothing but Pink Floyd from the moment I left my old apartment. It was a house. I left my old house to a new house. So good. I listened to so many albums. Levi says, how do I search your band up? I don't know. How do you think? When you look up bands, what do you use? Spotify? Apple Music? YouTube Music? What do you use? Here, hold on. I'll show you. I'll show you on the show. You use YouTube. Okay, watch this. I will type in. I'll use this. Watch this, everybody. Check this out. So that says finals, right? So let me look up a specific song, because if you just type in finals, there's the NBA finals. There's a game called The Finals. So, hold on. Levi, do you have a favorite song? Do you have any songs or something like that? Do you know any of my music? Let me just see real quick. I know you guys have all the questions and stuff. I want to see if this guy can figure this out. Do you know my music at all, Levi? Because if you don't, that's okay. I will show you how to look it up. If I say what? My band's music. Do you know any songs from my band? Yeah, you forgot the name? You want to describe it to me? I'll tell you what it is right off the bat. Go ahead. Folks, if you're just joining us, we're just chatting tonight. I played 3.5 hours of music earlier, so we're just kind of hanging out today. So if you guys want to talk to me about music, guitar, video games, streaming, if you want to donate a gift, you can. You don't have to. We're just kind of hanging out. So, all right, Levi is not able to tell me a single song from my band. That's okay. But I'll tell you this. Watch this. Featherweight's a pretty popular song. So if I type in Featherweight Finals, check this out. Featherweight Finals. Literally the first option. So that might be your problem. So you probably typed in just finals, which, I mean, if you type in, for example, I don't know, 38 Special, that's a band, right? That's not going to be just the band. It's going to show the ammo type and Magnum revolvers and stuff like that. So you gotta think if I search whatever this word is, what's going to pop up, So anyways, Alex says, how much have you spent overall on your guitars? Oh, that's a great question. Also, Robert says, do you like Les Pauls? I think they're okay. I like them. Let's see here. Let's do some math. I keep a record. This is true. I keep a record of all the guitars I've ever owned. Because sometimes sometimes you might want to pick something back up that's like the other one you had. So let's see real quick. Let's see if we can figure this out. Every guitar I've ever owned. Let's see something here. Masked Viewer says, what's your least favorite video game to play and why? Let me do this first, and I will answer that question, because that's an interesting question. But thank you for the wonderful $2 donation. Super Chat, the Masked Viewer. Really great question. So let's see here. Give me a second, you guys. We're going to look up, see what guitars I've owned. It's a pretty long list. Here we go. Gear and guitars I've owned. Over the years, I've owned 30, 40-something guitars, 50-something guitars. Which in the grand scheme of things, you're probably thinking 50, yeah. Well, it's over 20 years. So it's like what? About 2 guitars. There's a fraction there. All right, so let's see. I've owned... well, actually, we could do some quick math. This will be easy, so that we don't spend too much time on this. Give me a second. I'm going to answer you guys' questions in a moment. I'm going to pull up a calculator. So if on average I spent, let's say I've spent $600 on average. Let's just say on average I spent $600 on a guitar. Let's do this. 600 times, let's see, let's just say 38. That's what I have written in here. 38. 600 times 38. Yeah, 38. $22,800, apparently. That's how much I've spent on guitars, roughly. So as much as a Honda Civic, probably. So there's your answer. About. Okay. But that's over 20 years. So that's about $1,000. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. That's about $1,000 a year. If I bought a guitar a year. Yeah. For 20 years. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Everett says, do you have a song called Dead Athletes? Yes, I do. That is one of my songs. Let's see here. The Masked Viewer says, what's my least favorite video game and why? That's an interesting question because I don't play games I don't like. I would say this is probably going to ruffle some feathers, so don't get too mad. Most recently, I tried to play the game Crimson Desert. Has anyone played Crimson Desert? If you've never played Crimson Desert, it's a game where it's an RPG, but it's like an MMORPG. So again, off to a bad start. But it's like single player. So you'd expect the story to be like good. But I played it for like 2 hours. The controls were bad. The story was just absolutely like, I don't know what's going on. Why is this happening? Who are these people? Really rough game. Really rough. Some people said it's the best game they've played in the past 10 years, 5 years. And they say that the open world's great and it's beautiful and it's fun. But they said the one thing that they all agree on is the story's bad. They basically say if you can ignore the story, then it's fun. And I'm like, yeah, but it's a single-player game, so it's like, I don't know, man. So it's pretty rough. I don't know. But yeah, that's a bad one. So that was probably my least favorite game I played. I don't usually return games within the 2-hour period because, sometimes it takes a little while to go. But based on what people have told me, they're like, yeah, it gets really good after 10 hours. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to play that. 10 hours to try. 10 hours? That's 2 shifts at work. 1 if you're having a bad day. I'm not paying $70, $60 for a game that I got to work 10 hours to get good at or enjoy. You know what I mean? There's so many different games where it's like, even the most, like Dark Souls. Somebody asked me earlier about Dark Souls. Dark Souls is incredible. That had a really steep learning curve, but it was fun. It was very fun, very well made, very interesting. You know what I mean? Quip says 5-hour shift. Yeah. If you work part-time, 5-hour shift, it's pretty normal. Like I said, if you're having a bad day, 10-hour shift. That's a pretty long one. Not everybody's a nurse or I can't think of another job that works 10 hours in a row. Oil rig worker. But yeah, some people work part-time, buddy. That's a shift, baby. What else we got? But yeah, Dark Souls, again, really, really fun game. One of my favorite series of all time. But it did take a while for me to get into it. Like, not a joke, I played Dark Souls 2 first. Didn't understand what was going on until I played Dark Souls 1. Really, really enjoyable game. Anybody else? Video game? Answer questions. We're talking tonight. Music, guitar, video games, streaming. If you're enjoying the show, tap the screen, donate, send a gift if you guys are enjoying the show. Usually I give priority to people give a gift or something like that. I'll see what I can do. And says, did you ever get into the Elder Scrolls games? Oh, yeah. Yeah. I played Oblivion, enjoyed it, played the remaster, enjoyed it, loved Skyrim. I understand why people pick one or the other. Oblivion's definitely more fun with the magic. Skyrim's definitely more fun, action-packed and going crazy and stuff, so I understand. I watched a Let's Play Morrowind. Really liked it. It was really cool. Loved the story. Couldn't get into the gameplay because it's trash. I'm sorry. If you play a game and you punch something and there's a dice roll to see if you hit and it's a 0, that game sucks. If you miss that often in a game, and I get it, you're level 1, but that's not satisfying. Not satisfying. Yeah, no enjoyment there. Mug says, hey, Pat, have you ever heard of the Djinns? No, they're not good. Anybody who listens to the Djinns, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. I tried to listen to them. They look like Nirvana, and that's why people listen to them. I promise you, if the lead singer did not look like Kurt Cobain, you guys would not care as much. I promise you. I promise you. And I'm not hating the band. The band can do whatever they want. But that is their thing. They look and act, and they take advantage of that. Hands down, because every time I talk to somebody about Djinns, anytime I talk about the Djinns, they say the same 1 or 2 songs, and then I ask them if they listen to any more songs from them, and they say no. And then I ask them why they listen to them, and they go, because the singer looks like Kurt Cobain. And I'm just like, this is the most topical trash I've ever seen in my life. Oh, my God. They sound nothing like them. And they're like, yeah, if you like Nirvana, you'd like the Djinns. No, they don't sound anything close. Not even a inkling of similarity. Not even close. But again, it's okay if you like them. But they are not anything close to what people say. It's insane. It's insane. Zoe says, I like a couple songs. I just feel like they're lyrically shallow. Yeah, I agree with that. Which is fine. Not every band needs to be like an incredible lyrical journey, you know. You don't have to do anything. But again, it's really funny. Lino says, play some blues over A minor backing track. Nah, we're just chatting, buddy. I know I have my guitar in my hand, but that's if I have to like give a example about guitar. So we're kind of just talking about it. Mass Viewer says, do you prefer amps or amp sims? Ooh. Also, if you're on TikTok, just so you know, I have 2 different streams going on. So you guys are more than welcome to say something. So. But anyways, do I prefer amps or amp sims? Amp sims are really, really good these days. Like, I'll always enjoy specific amplifiers. The Fender Princeton Reverb is one of my favorite amps of all time. Vox AC30 is incredible. Fender Deluxe Reverb, Super Reverb, any Marshall JCM 800, they're all really good. But not made of money I am. Even though I buy a lot of guitars, but I sell them too. I trade them in and out. So really the money never really goes away. Buying amps is very, very rough. It's very rough. They're very, very heavy. They're very, very hard to find. You also can't play at full volume all the time. So amp sims are really great. Especially now. So it's very, very good. Let's see. Alex says, favorite song to play? Don't have a favorite song, but I have lots and lots of music that I enjoy to play. Yeah. Have you seen the show? Have you been on here? Usually I don't talk. Usually I play music. Let's see here. Connor says, what's up, Pat? You're finally back on TikTok? Not really. I'm on here, but I'm not back. Does that make sense? I'm multi-streaming. That's how it goes. Yep. Let's see here. Lena says, what would you say for a 2-channel acoustic amp? For example, Fishman amps? Oh, they're incredible. Fishman Loudboxes are really good. A Fishman Loudbox is a great amp. Highly recommend those. But I mean PA systems, honestly. Most acoustics that use a preamp, I mean, that's good enough to plug right in if you can, or if you can get like a little pedal. You don't really need too much. You really don't. Yeah, a lot of PA speakers. Because you got to think, for those of you who don't know anything about guitar, let me show you something. Let me unplug a guitar real quick. Let me show you something. So I don't play guitar with electric acoustics, which sounds like an oxymoron, but hold on. Let me show you what I mean. So this guitar, for example, has a preamp in it. That's what this electric thing is. So it's got a battery. And if I press it in, See that light right there? See it turn it on? So that's the tuner. That tells you if it's electric, acoustic, blah, blah, blah. So if I use a microphone, let me give you guys a little better view here. So if I use a microphone, it sounds dramatically different than plugging it in. So let me plug this in real quick just so you guys can hear it. Let me turn off all the doohickeys and stuff. Let me turn it up a little bit more. So this is just the preamp. It sounds okay. Let me show you what it sounds like if you don't do that. This is why I use microphones. Listen to this. Immediately like, oh yeah, that sounds like an acoustic guitar. The other one sounded very almost like plastic, doesn't it? Sounds like a real acoustic now, doesn't it? Not plugged in, that's a microphone, baby. Yeah, never ever in the world would I plug in my acoustic. Ever. I just don't want to do it. Use a microphone. Again, I will go back. Let me turn it up. Terrible. Now, to be fair, when I'm using a nice microphone versus a beginner preamp, so it's not exactly the fairest fight, but I don't care. It sounds bad. No, thank you. I'd rather. What microphone am I using? You guys don't care. I'm going to tell you right now, it does not matter. Whatever you're thinking, I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't matter. You use any microphone you can. You can use a SM57. You can use a condenser mic. You can use a dynamic mic. Whatever it is, whatever you got sounds fine. You know how I know this? Because I have used different equipment over the past couple of years. No one has said a word. The only person who's noticed is me. So nobody ever says, "Hey Pat, your acoustic sounds different from this song to this song. What'd you change?" Nobody cares. So whatever you guys want to use, if you got enough money for a 57. Get it. If you want to get a really nice Neumann, get it. I'm sure it sounds different, but nobody's going to notice, dude. Folks, if you're just joining us, we are talking about music, guitar, video games, streaming. If you got questions, if you want to talk, let me know. JJ says, donate me a guitar right now. Do you really want one? What guitar do you want? Chat, should I donate a guitar to this random person who's asking me? You would like a Les Paul? You're saving up. Wait, if you're saving up, that means you have money to buy your own guitar. Why would you want me to give away my guitar? That seems kind of weird. D28? Oh, I would love a D28. I'm probably going to D18, though. Josh says, man, I tune in and hear Nutshell, but you didn't continue. Yeah, we played 3.5 hours of music, bud. Where were you? We're talking. We're just chatting right now, buddy. Sorry. JJ says, I'm trying to go on a cruise. Wow. Chat, this kid asks me to donate a guitar, and he's going on cruises. I've never been on a cruise. Why don't you, I'll tell you what. How about I tell you this? JJ, how about this? Maybe instead of going on a cruise, How about you use that money to buy something else instead of making me give you something? You ever think about that? Sawyer says, how many Jags do you have? Oh, I drive a Ford, man. I don't have a Jaguar. Oh, you mean the guitar. My bad. I thought you were talking about the cars. I have two. I got two of them. Yeah. I've got the one that's tuned half step down and then one that's tuned, what is it? Drop C sharp or whatever it is. I like them. I like Jags. They're kind of, my car guy. Uh-oh. Somebody caught on. I love cars, dude. I think most people that are into guitars are also into cars. I think there's some sort of parallel, Venn diagram, something like that. Do I like Gretches? I do, but I'll never buy one. If I could find one for cheap, that'd be cool. But I don't think I'll buy a Gretsch. Because I like solid body guitars, but Gretches are cool. They're very well made. I do like them. Let's see here. Dream car. Ooh. Well, I used to have a Focus RS, Ford Focus RS, which is one of the funnest cars I've ever driven in my life. But I had to sell it because I got into health. I had health problems and couldn't afford to have it anymore. So sad. But I'm an American, so I have to sell things to pay to be alive. That's how it goes, baby. Dr. Paz says, please release your music on vinyl so it's destructible. You know what's funny, Paz? I am on vinyl, bitch. Check it out. I like how you're saying you're going to destroy it. But guess what? It's on vinyl already. So if you want to destroy it, you're going to have to pay for it, pal. You like that? It is on vinyl. You like that shit? I like that. I like it when somebody was trying to talk shit to me and it's like, no, I am on vinyl. They're like, no, I can buy it and break it. It's like, if you buy it, you can break as many as you want, pal. As long as you pay for it. Let's see here. SH says, does instrument destruction bother you or it's okay? Have you not seen this channel before? Dude, can I show you all the guitars we've smashed? Does anybody new here? Anybody new here? Would you guys like to see how many guitars I've smashed on the show? Just want to make sure. I'm not playing music tonight? Oh, I played music already, bud. You're late. You are late. I played 3.5 hours of music earlier. Anybody want to see all the guitars we've smashed? Real quick. Anybody? Anybody? I see a couple people, not that many, though. JJ, I'm not interested, bye. Yeah, I don't care about you anymore. You said that you wanted to take something from me when you have enough money to just buy your own. So that's a psychotic thing to say to someone. No. All right. Nirvana says you should play guitar. I did play guitar. Where were you? You can't be Johnny come lately and then ask me to do stuff for you. I played music today, bud. You're late. All right, let's go look at some guitars we've smashed. All right, ready? So I'm going to shine this camera over here. You guys let me know. So we got the one we smashed today is right there. This one. We smashed a solid body guitar right there. There's another one right there. There's another neck. There are so many guitars that are actually piled up on each other. So it's hard to actually see with this camera. There's one back there, right there, right there. Whole bunch. There's a green screen on the ground, so it's kind of messing things up. But yeah, there are so many guitars we've smashed. It's really a graveyard, so to speak. So it's pretty nuts, man. It's pretty crazy. But once again, if you guys are enjoying the show, tap that screen, subscribe to live. We're kind of just hanging out right now. And if you want to send, gifts or something, you're more than welcome to. Always appreciate it. Helps fund the show. So if you're enjoying it, you can. SH says, why I feel bad? Why? What do you feel bad? For the guitar thing? Justin, thank you so much for the wonderful gifts. I appreciate you. Yeah. Yeah, we smash guitars. Now, let me just explain real quick. Let me explain. I don't smash guitars because I hate them or I'm like a jerk. I smash guitars because, one, people find it entertaining. People enjoy it. It brings people joy, which is really what you're supposed to do if you're an entertainer. Makes sense. Two, the other reason is because we have gift goals. We usually have a goal. And usually as like a, hey, thank you guys for helping me out, I'll smash the guitar. And the third reason is those guitars are usually junk. Usually like absolutely not worth anybody's money. So I buy bad guitars from people. So the people are I don't like the guitars. I'm paying people for their guitars so they can get one last hurrah. So they weren't able to use them. They couldn't take care of them. They didn't do something with them. So I give them a Viking funeral, as I say. And then we give a one last hurrah. So rather than to have them sit at somebody's house, wasting away, I give people enough money so that they can actually be like, okay, cool, thank you. You know what I mean? So I don't want to hear it. So if anybody complains, you'd be like, let the guy do his thing. Let him do his thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Anything else you guys want to hear? We're talking about music, guitar, video game streaming. You don't have to. You don't have to send anything if you don't want to. But if you donate, I appreciate it. Helps out the show. But if you got questions, now is a good time to ask. I play music during the day. So we played 3.5 hours of music earlier, and then I took a half-hour break, and now we're back. We're kind of talking. So again, thank you guys so much for being here. Let's see here. Joe1313 back in the show says, yeah, didn't you say in a post you were going to a yard sale to buy one? Yep, that's exactly what I was supposed to buy. Right on. Thank you so much. Way to pay attention. Cake says, have you played Elden Ring? Oh, yeah. Love Elden Ring. It's one of the only games I've beaten recently that I've beaten multiple times. First time I played it, excruciatingly fun. Just like absolutely difficult but fun. Second time, absolutely whipped its ass. We'll probably stream Elden Ring someday. Love to play Elden Ring. Oh, it's so good. It's hard, but it's the most polite. So if you hate Elden Ring, you should play Demon Souls or Dark Souls. Dark Souls 2. Yeah, it's fun. DJ says Fallout 4. Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. Yo, Soy Matt, what's up, buddy? Yeah, we were playing Fallout 4. I have Fallout 4 with mods on my computer. We could play it on the show if you want to see what it looks like. It's really fun. Oh, it's so much fun. Fallout 4 sucks. I want to make that very clear. If you guys enjoy Fallout 4, it's one of the weaker ones of Fallout. If you enjoy it, it's perfectly fine. I didn't love it until I downloaded mods for it, and it kicks ass now. It is so much more fun. So, really big fan of the Lore Out. It's called Lore Out. That's the mod pack. It's really good. Josh says, do you any chance play guitar? No. Anyways, Nirvana says, how long have you been playing guitar? Ooh, that's a good question. Do you want to take a guess? Anyone want to take a guess? Joe's 1313 says Dark Souls is a pain in the butt. It is. But it's once you figure out Dark Souls, like in a nutshell, the way Dark Souls is that the game is trying to trick you. Let me explain a perfect scenario in Dark Souls and why when you play one game versus another, it's different, why you're not used to it. When you play Dark Souls, it really does tell you how to play it. If you go into a room and there's an item in the middle of the room, you have to think. In other games like Zelda, it's probably just like, oh, I got an item room. I just go in and grab it. In Dark Souls, it's a trap. Right off screen, because the game knows where your line of sight is. Right, off to your left, off to your right, above you, somewhere you can't see. You got to check your corners. Something's waiting for you where that item is. That is the difference between Dark Souls and many other games. Dark Souls is trying to hurt you. It's trying to kill your character. But in other games, it's challenging, it's fun, but Dark Souls is teaching you, hey, if you go into a room and it looks empty, you need to make sure it's empty. That's all I'll say on it. It's really good. It's a really, really fun game. If you play it like Zelda, you're gonna have a bad time. But it is very similar, actually. So, let's see here. Blakey says, I love your music, Australia, Pat. Oh, dude. Right on. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Let's see here. Did anybody guess how long I've been playing guitar? No. No one has guessed the number yet. Interesting. Jack says, did you train your voice to strain/growl like that? I mean it as a compliment, I promise. No, I understand. Train? No, but I did figure it out. I'm pretty good at doing impressions. And I remember I used to listen to Dillinger Escape Plan and Every Time I Die and all these other bands that had like a really crazy voice. Very, very metal, And I remember I couldn't do it. I was like, how do they do this? And then one day, clicked. And I went, no way! And then that's it. Sometimes you just figure stuff out. It just happens. Let's see here. 16 years, 9 years, 3,000 years, 2 years. Nope, nobody's guessed it yet. 13 to 17 years. Nope. Doing a range is cheating. That's okay. Ethan says, do you have any streaming advice for people just getting into streaming? Yes, I have plenty. I've been doing this for almost 3 years now. And we're just, like I said, we're just kind of taking a break. We're doing live chat about music, guitar, video games, streaming. Anything specific? Because I can give you some very basic, boring advice. But let me see. What are you trying to do? Because I'll tell you what, one of the biggest pieces of advice about streaming is that you have to make things very, very easy for your audience. You have to listen to the audience because they're always going to tell you. For example, I used to have a song list on my channel. I'll show it to you guys real quick. I'll just show it to you. I used to have a song list that I would always use. And people would look at the song list and just never read it. So let me turn off the pricing. Let me show you something. People would just never read that, even though I would say constantly, like, these are the songs I know how to play. Please look at the song list. So eventually I just learned this is, even though it's helpful, objectively, it's helpful. They are telling you they're not reading the song list. So I took it away. So now when people say, where's your song list? I'll be like, what do you want to hear? Because it doesn't, if they're not going to read it, it doesn't matter, right? So you have to listen to your audience. Sometimes they tell you something over and over again, but they don't tell you verbatim. They don't tell you specifically. They just tell you what they're trying to do. For example, there is a streamer, I think you guys have heard of him, Moist Critical. He had a stream for Christmas recently, and it said giving away money for Christmas. Literally thousands of people in the chat. Everyone's just, please, please, give me money, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And then he just had one little thing written on the screen. It said, please enter your information into a document, this Google Doc, and I will read through it. 90% of the people did not read that. So he was just like, all right, I guess I won't care. So you have to really listen to your audience. You have to pay attention to what's going on. Because if they're going to tell you what to do. They told me. They said, I'm not reading the music song list. So I just took it away. No point in doing that. So, but that's the point. Is the point I'm trying to make here is that when you're streaming, you have to listen to the audience. You got to make it as easy for them as possible. Sometimes it's like dumb, but you got to do it. You know what I mean? Like I have a thing up here that says live, let's chat about music, guitar, video game streaming. If I don't point at that every minute or so, people don't read it. So you have to really, really kind of nail that down. So any other questions about streaming? Because like I'm not going to say I'm an expert, but I'm going to give my opinion because I've been doing this for a couple of years. So let's see here. See, look, Blakey's like, what Pearl Jam songs do you play? Literally had the song list right there. Isn't that funny? Case in point. Literally had the song list right in front of their face. Did not read it. They only probably saw 1 second of it. What's funny is there's only like 3 songs from Pearl Jam up there. It shows it. So, you weren't here? Exactly. See? Exactly. You know what? You're not in the chat anymore either. Pew, gotcha. Anyways. No, nothing else? No, Joe 1313 says, I'm probably one of the only ones that reads stream. Yep. Some people do. Don't get me wrong. Some people do. which is why the list isn't deleted, but it's there. It exists. So yeah, if you guys got questions about music, guitar, video game streaming, let me know. We'll see. Yeah, it's very funny when people do that. Like I said, they'll tell you. They tell you how they want to be treated. They tell you what they want to know. They tell you how to do something. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But yeah, streaming is a very interesting job because most of the people that you meet, you actually meet for only like less than a minute. If you think about it that way. Less than a minute. Most people. Jeremy says, I love your band, Pat. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, buddy. Cake says, favorite song or favorite Radiohead song and album? Ooh, I don't know off the top of my head. I mean, Optimistic is one that I played many times. Videotape's great. I mean, let me put it this way. Any song from the first 7 albums, everything up until Moon-Shaped Pool, I just really, really enjoyed. Hail to the Thief. You know what I mean? OK Computer, Kid A. Even Pablo Honey. People talk about Pablo Honey. I'm like, I love Pablo Honey. It's phenomenal. The Josh says, I used to watch you every night like 2 years ago. You were the reason I kept pursuing guitar. You know what's interesting? People say, let me give you guys another piece of advice about streaming. So I'll use Josh as an example. No offense to you, Josh, but I'm going to make an example of you. So when I switched from one streaming app to another. When you do that, a lot of people don't come with you. Even though objectively speaking, it's very easy. Watch this. Let's go to TikTok real quick. Hold on. Even though objectively speaking, if I go to TikTok, right? This is how easy it is. I press this button, right? And then I go over to YouTube. That's how easy it is to go from one app to another. Every time you click, every time you add a step in the process, you lose like 80% of the people. So if you, like when I heard about, let's use Moist Critical as an example again. When I heard he went from Twitch to YouTube, you know what I mean? He lost a lot of people. He didn't lose enough to like stop him from streaming, but he moves. So it's interesting that people, they will not follow you. Even if you type it in the chat, you make videos about it, they will be like, I don't know, you're not on this app anymore. I guess you're gone. People don't care about you as much as you probably think. Because I'll give you an example. Every person in this room, and I don't mean you specifically, I mean people in general. People often say, oh, I missed you. I don't know where you went if they see you again. But they don't like you enough to look for you. Does that make sense? Most of the time, I'm sure you have favorite bands or, favorite channels or favorite users, whatever it is. But if you stop showing up in front of them, they don't go, hey, where'd you go? That happens a lot. There's a ton of people that say they care about you. But then when you move a click away, you might as well be dead. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. Because, I know there's people that, I don't talk to anymore online because they went to a different app or something. I'm sure. I mean, I'm on most social media, so it doesn't matter. But that's the point I'm trying to make here is that, for example, look, Jack says, do you still do Nirvana nights? Jack, let me ask you a question. When is the last time you were on the stream? Let's figure it out. Andrew says, hey, Patrick, new subscriber here. Favorite out there electric guitar shape? Gibson RD. Oh, interesting. I would say if I had to pick a body shape for a guitar that's really weird. Easy. Fernandez, what's it called? Vertigo. It looks like a butterfly. One of my favorite guitar shapes of all time. So, Josh says, yeah, it's just life caught up to me, and last couple of years of high school has been horrible. Yeah, but you can make up whatever excuse or reason, and I'm not saying you're a bad person or anything like that, but you still went on TikTok. You still went on YouTube. You still went on the internet. It's very easy to just be like, I don't see that guy anymore. Where'd he go? And you go to the profile, because my profile's still on here, obviously. It's very easy to look. But you didn't look, which is okay. But that's how people treat, internet stuff. It's very, grassroots, not a thing. It's like microbial, microbial fungus. If you go like this, it blows away. It's completely gone. There's no structure. There's no structure to it. No, I'm not mad about it. I'm just using it as an example because, like, when you're a streamer, when you're on the internet, when you're on social media, like, you have to make things easy because people don't really dig deep. There are some people, this is true. There are some people who have been watching me since I started streaming, like almost 3 years ago. That is true. But it's like maybe a single-digit number. It's like maybe 9 people, maybe 5 people. So it's really interesting how that happens. So it's funny when people try to look at it in a serious way with like an audience, because there's some people, and that's with anything really. Some people it happens. So let's see here. Anything else, you guys? Any other questions? We got Jack says, play UFO, lights out. Oh, dude, I listened to UFO recently. They got some pretty good songs, dude. That is so funny. I don't have anything to play with it right now. Sorry, buddy. We played music earlier. We played for 3.5 hours. Where were you? Let's see here. Ethan says, is there like a certain streaming platform you use? All of them. That's why whenever people tell me they haven't seen me in a while, I'm like, I've been streaming. I've been doing this. I've been on. I go live every single day. There's very few times I take it more than a day off. So that's what happens. Yeah, so when people ask me like, oh, I haven't, or they say stuff like that, I'm like, well, no, you haven't been on. I've been on. So it happens how that goes. See what I mean? Another guy said it. Let's see here. User says, yes, play UFO or UFO play some. I already played 3.5 hours earlier, bud. Did you not hear me say that? You not paying attention? Hello? I said I played music earlier. We're not doing that. Bear says, he ignored my butter question. Maybe if you had a better question, I'd answer it. Sorry. I don't know what you said. I can't scroll up. I'm looking at other chats. Sorry, buddy. Let's see here. Joe1313 says, hey, man, I learned to Drain You and Floyd the Barber. Cool, dude. Drain You's fun. I actually learned to play Drain You wrong, but it's still the right notes. This is what's interesting about music. When you learn songs, sometimes you learn the right notes, but in the wrong way the artist does it. Can I show you guys how to play Drain You on a standard tuning? It's really fun. So I'll play it how Kurt does it, and I'll play it how I do it. Because I learned it wrong, but it's the right notes. Does that make sense? You know what I'm talking about? If you don't know how to play guitar, let me explain. This note is the same note as this note. It's an octave difference. So it's higher, but it's the same note. You're probably thinking, how does that make sense? If the same note, how's it higher? Well, it has to do with numbers. It's really weird. So it's like they're all fractions. So like, if this is 4 and this is 8, that's just double 4, right? 8 is 2 4s. So if it's vibrating twice as fast, it's the same frequency, kind of. So anyways, so with that being said, you can play that note and that note. They're the same note. So you can play the same thing in different places. Like, for example, if I play one baby to another says I'm lucky to meet you. Those are the correct chords. That's the song, right? But I learned it wrong. Kurt does not play it like that. Some Nirvana fans say I'm faking it. Because they see my hand and they're like, that's not how you're supposed to play it. And I'm like, no, it's the right notes. Here's how Kurt plays it. He goes, hold on, sorry. Same notes. I'm not starting anywhere close to the right spot. One baby to another says I'm lucky to meet you. Isn't that funny? I dropped my pick. Isn't that weird? You can play the same song, but with the different shapes. It's pretty fun. Guitar is really fun to play. I like it. What song was that? I don't know. I probably said it 5 times, but I forgot. Let's see. Right here. What we got? Dwight says, what's your recommendation on a beginner guitar? Oh, interested in playing guitar? Tap that screen. Anybody else play guitars? Or wanting to play guitar? .007? You? JJ? You? Young? You? Okay. Anybody on TikTok? No? Okay. All right, let me tell you. Yeah, let me tell you how it goes. So if you're looking at a beginner guitar, I'm going to tell you right now, beginner guitar is kind of a weird term because there's no technically such thing as a beginner guitar. There are cheap guitars that are inexpensive, that are aimed at beginners. But let me put it this way. One guitar is generally built almost exactly the same as another. It's just that they're slightly more comfortable, their sound's slightly different, or they last slightly longer. You know what I mean? Let me explain. So I will play you a guitar, and I want you guys to guess how expensive it is. All right? And for those of you who know the answer, go ahead. Let me use an electric guitar. Let me use this guy right here. It's one of my favorites. Because I just want to explain. You're not really paying for what you think. All right, so listen to this. You guys just let me know how much you think it costs. Blanket. I know most of you have never had a job in your life. You still live with your parents. It's okay. But for those of you who actually do understand money a little bit, want to play guitar. We'll see. So I'll play something real quick. We were playing Nirvana a second ago, so we can play a little bit. Most people who play guitar, they're probably going to go, well, you can't tell based on its sound. Sure. I actually kind of agree with you on that. They sound a little different. Whoops. Would you be willing to bet, or would you be willing to believe this guitar costs, what, 4 times as much as that other guitar? 4 times. No, actually way more than that, because I got this used. 7 times? It's a 7 times price difference. Pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy. LP, that's cheating? Why is that cheating? The point I'm trying to make here is that some people will spend a lot more on something that's only a bit better. Not quite a lot, just a bit better. So the joke is that when you're listening to the guitars, a lot of guitars sound a bit different. It's not that big of a deal. What you're really paying for is how does it feel? How long is it going to last? Those are 2 big deals. So I would like to call it craftsmanship and materials. That's what you're paying for in a guitar. The talent, the movement, the songs, that's all separate. When you're paying for an piece of equipment, you're paying for those 2 things. Craftsmanship, materials. So to answer your question about, what kind of guitar would you recommend in the beginning? Whatever you are comfortable to afford. So if you can spend $100, cool. If you can spend $500, cool. If you can spend $1,000, cool. You're probably not going to make it past the first month or 2. Because everybody likes guitar. Most people do. But playing it is a totally different thing. Okay? It's different. So as much as you are comfortable spending, you're not going to be that much better than other people. This guitar that costs $3,000 or whatever it is, new, I didn't buy it new, is not making me a better player than that guitar. I like that one better. I like this one because it's cool. I like Jimmy Page, Led Zeppelin. So I got something that looks like his guitar. But that's a big part of it that people pay for. People pay money because of that inspiration. People pay money for the creativity to it. So if you want to play the guitar more because you like it, that justifies it. Some people spend thousands more because they like it more. Ferrari, you guys know Lamborghini? You're still driving to work. You're still driving to the grocery store. But if you feel better, you will pay more for it. It doesn't matter. Whatever you can afford, that is what you should buy. Because what's important is you wanting to play guitar. So my advice, in a nutshell, is when people say, what should I buy for a beginner? Whatever you want. If you are inspired to play something, if you look at a guitar and you're like, that's so cool, I want to play that, buy it if you want to. Now, there are some little things, like having a Floyd Rose tremolo that'll make it hard to tune it. You don't know what a Floyd Rose is, that's okay. Buying, getting a Les Paul versus an Ibanez Art Core or something like that. You just really want to get something that inspires you to play. If you play it and you're comfortable and you like it, that's it. Because you can always buy something later and change it out. You just don't know what you want. You know what I mean? You just don't know what you want. I'll give you another example. Okay? People that say, oh, you should start on acoustic, oh, you should start on electric. Doesn't matter. What matters is, do you want to play it? Because if you get an acoustic, my vinyl fell over. Sorry, hold on. If you get an acoustic and you want to rock and roll, you're not going to play it as much, right? Conversely, if you want to play some singer-songwriter stuff, right? If you're starting out and you're like, I just want to do that, why would you buy that? Get something that makes you want to play. That's my advice. Or the short answer is buy what you can afford, see what you like at the store, take it home, try it out, have a good return policy. That's it. Any other questions? Roxanne, sorry, you probably hear that a lot. PRS or Fender? Fender. I'm a big Fender guy. I know that there's a lot of people upset about Fender right now because there's lawsuits, but lawsuit or not, they still make really, really well-made guitars. And I know some people have been talking shit about them, like Rick Beato and stuff. But having played guitar for 20 years and not having some sort of contract with another guitar company, Rick Beato with Gibson, which is already, that's like severe bias. So he's also friends with Paul from Paul Reed Smith. So as somebody who just plays guitars, like for a living, and doesn't have my wallet entangled by other companies, Fender makes really good stuff. Are they the best? No. PRS makes really good stuff. Their quality control is incredible. For those of you who don't know, Paul Reed Smith is a company that makes guitars in Maryland. Excellent guitars. But I don't like them. They're just not, they don't inspire me. Like I said before, if it makes you want to play guitar, buy it. I've never held a PRS that made me think, I really want to buy this and play music with it. I've always said, this is made really well. Where are the Strats? That's just, I got used to it. I like them. Yeah, they're good. I mean, again, is it the best? No. But look at Gibson. If you don't know anything about Gibson, Gibson's a really big company. They make $3,000 guitars that are awful, but they make some good ones too. Hence, you find a good one, you keep it. So, Deluxe, thank you so much for the wonderful party hat. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys got questions, let me know. Oh, man. Somebody's saying to shut up. Someone should shut up. Well, whoever it is, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, Dirty says never play guitar. Why? What do you mean? Are you saying you've never played guitar? Yeah, no problem, Dwight. Zad says, bro threw away any chances of getting a free Gibson. I'm okay. Can I explain something to you? I would rather buy a Gibson and not be under contract to lie and just own a guitar that I like than be under a contract and play guitars I don't like. Maybe someday you'll understand. Some things are worth more than money. I'll give you a hint at one. Freedom. Being able to choose what you want to play, very important. So, Let's see here. Any other questions? Big H says, can you play Where'd You Sleep Last Night? Yeah, I know how to play that. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'll play a little bit for you. Josh says, I slept at my mom's house last night. I slept at your mom's house too. My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines, where the sun don't ever shine. I would shiver the whole night through. Yo Jared sent a $2 donation saying, bro, I need you to play some Korn right now. Sorry, man. I don't know how to play any Korn. And I sold my 7-string because I didn't like it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of 7-strings. They're good guitars. But there's a thing that people don't talk about with 7-string guitars is that the neck is so much wider. And it really ruins your brain trying to switch from 6 to 7. You really have to stick with it. When you're with a 7-string, like, for example, Wes Borland, Limp Bizkit. He's the guitar player, if you don't know. He only plays 7 strings. And what's funny about that is sometimes he'll play in standard tuning, which means he doesn't have the big string, the 7th string. He'll actually put 6 strings on, and then he'll have 2 E strings to make it 7. Because he's so used to playing it that way. For those of you who don't play guitar, you're like, I don't know what that means. Trust me, it's very weird, and I didn't want to do that. So I was like, no thanks, I don't want to do that. So, yeah. Willie says, false. Wes doesn't even play a 7-string live. Well, I know that Steph Carpenter from Deftones, he's the one who said that story. So if you got a problem with it, take it up with Steph Carpenter from Deftones. It's on his rig rundown. If he doesn't play him anymore, that means he's changed. But 100%, that is 100% true. Let's see here. I'm Good says, why is it 6-1 top down instead of 1-6 on the strings? That's an awesome question. And actually, not everybody agrees on that, but for the most part, people will do. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, on guitar, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You count up like that way instead of that way. I don't do that when I'm like thinking about it. I think that this is 1 and this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. So apparently that's just when people think about guitar, somebody decided that and they all just went with it and agreed with it. Like, why? I'll give you a question. Why do they call this part the nut? See this? Right here? Looks like teeth. Why do they call that the nut? They could have called it a string guide. They could have called it the teeth. They could have called it the mustache. They could have called it a whole bunch of shit. But they sat there and they looked at the people building guitars and they said, let's call it the nut. That's true. That's true. I don't know why they did that. Because they call these tuning pegs. They don't call these nipples or some weird shit. They could have called it something else, but they chose nut. So, don't ask me, man. That's just what they do. Yeah, they could have called it the bone, which is still kind of close. But it's funny. Let's see here. Willie says because it's something guitarists don't have. What? What? Can we get a check on that joke? Was that funny? Can we get a funny check on that joke? They said it's embarrassing. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see here. User says, Bill, can you play Upside Down? Who's Bill? You're talking to people in the chat? Who are you talking to? 007, he's saying guitarists don't have nuts. Yeah, but that doesn't even make sense. I knew what he's trying to say, but that's a bad joke. If we didn't have nuts, who's banging your mom? Oh! Second your mom joke of the night. See what I mean? That doesn't make sense. Oh, hold on a second. I kick someone out for spamming the chat. I know you like the song, buddy, but make sure you don't spam the chat, buddy. Yeah, no, you can't make a shit joke and say it's mid. You can't do that. You can't make a joke like that. Come on, man. Yeah, that's just that. You know what that is? That's the stop making fun of me. You're mid. That's what that is. Hey, man, don't worry about it. If you want another your mom joke, come back. I'll be mid-stroking your mom, too. Oh, that's 3 in a row. Boom, got him. Let's see here. Love a Bee says, do you mind if I spam like? That's not a problem. In fact, if you guys want to think about streaming, the more you guys interact with the live stream, which is why I'm not kicking that guy out, the more you interact with the live stream, the better the metrics are. You got to think, this is really interesting. If you're a streaming platform, right? If you're measuring something, what do you actually have to measure? Interactions, like tapping the screen, liking, subscribing, gifting, things like that. That's things you can measure. Watch time. So the more of those things you get, the better the chat gets. You know what I mean? So the more people watch it. So if you're trying to figure out streaming, the more interactions you get, so tapping the screen, all that stuff, it works. So if you're trying to think, how do I become a streamer? How do I get to this? How do I get these things happening? If you can't measure it, it doesn't exist. Does that make sense? So when somebody says, I like this stream, it measures that as somebody chatted. It doesn't know they like the stream. It just knows that something happened. Like when whatever the guy earlier was talking about me and his mom. When he says something in the chat, it measures that. It doesn't know he's upset and he's a salty little baby. You know what I mean? It doesn't know that. It just knows he's chatting and he's choosing to stay in the chat. So it knows he's still watching. Does that make sense? It's very interesting. So if you're thinking about that way, if you were a streaming company, what would you measure? Whatever you can. So if you're trying to make your stream more popular, whatever way it is, the more people are chatting, the more people that are liking the live, the more people that are subscribing, all that stuff that's measurable, that is what happens in the stream. So it's pretty interesting. So, but that being said, if you guys got questions, you want to talk about music, guitar, video games, streaming, whatever you want, you can. Go right ahead. Sean says, on a plane. I actually know how to play that. I can play a little bit of it for you. Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of that's Ben Hassan. Oh, I got to get a different guitar. On a plane's drop D. Stop this off without any words. Got so high, scratched till I bled. Love myself better than you. Know it's wrong, so what should I do? I'm on a plane. There you go, a little bit of that. Brotato says, hey, Pat, how do you get your music on the streaming platforms? Do you use like DistroKid or a different distributor? I don't like to say which one I use because I don't want to give them, what's it called? I don't want to give them advertising because they don't pay me to. But, yeah, you can use DistroKid. You can use, I think the other one's CD Baby. There's a couple other ones. However you can. However you can get it on there, it's fine. I know that sometimes you are at the mercy of uploading stuff. There was a time where one of the streaming platforms they were not taking new stuff. It was really weird. So, like, you could upload it to everything else except YouTube. I was like, what the hell's going on? So, like I said, I'm not going to, say one's better than the other. But, yeah, however you want to put it on there, you can. So, it's very interesting. Hawkeye says, what shampoo to use? Whatever's in your mom's bathroom. She just lets me use it. So, see, I do it to other people. All right, let's see here. Joe says, Pat, do you know how to play Floyd the Barber? No, I'm not a big Floyd the Barber fan. Hawkeye says per plus. Is that what she uses? I don't know. I don't usually pay attention. What do we got? Any other questions? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Sim says, how to expand my scales? I'm stuck at the pentatonic scale. I'm going to give you guys a little secret. You don't actually have to learn every scale or mode you don't want to. If you're okay with pentatonic, if you want to learn more, just learn it. You learn the pentatonic. What's stopping you? I like the major scale and the minor scale. Just the regular, nothing crazy. Mixolydian's cool. That's a mode, but Lydian scale mode. But bottom line is you just learn whatever you want. Honest to God, think about it this way. If you can identify every scale of every song you've ever heard, that's cool, but you don't need to do that. You just need to know what you want or what you're feeling like playing. And I know that's like a very lazy guitar player aspect to it, but to be fair, when people write music, you can either start with the scale in mind or you just write stuff until you go, oh, I guess I'm playing an E minor. You know what I mean? Oh, I guess I'm playing an E minor major scale. Something like that. Something I don't know. If you asked me right now, what is featherweight in? I'd be like, I don't know. I don't know what scale that's in. But I wrote the song. I know it's in a scale. Does that make sense? So when I'm playing my guitar, I'm just like. I don't know what that is. But that's okay. You don't have to. Somebody's going to know. And they'll be writing the tabs for my songs, which has happened. People will be like, oh, Pat, you're playing a blah, blah, blah there. You're playing a E7 there. And I'm like, okay. What do you play after that? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, well, you wrote the song. I'm like, yeah, I know what to play. It's funny, man. As long as you know what sounds good to you, you can look up the scale you're in. You can figure it out. You know what I mean? There's no wrong answer. You can start with the scale in mind, or you can end the scale in mind. That's fine. It's whatever you want. Let's see here. Karif says, I will gaze featherweight forever. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Ethan says, any advice for people starting to write music? I think one of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten was no matter what you do in music, tell the truth. However you feel like writing. If you feel like being in a Kiss cover band like my brother, do it. If you want to do that, do it. Just be honest. If you want to make something completely original that nobody's ever heard before and nobody can compare it to anything, do it. Be honest, though. That's my advice. If you're starting to write music, you know what I mean? That's important. It's a very important thing to just be, because if you're trying to write something, right? If you're trying to write something and you're not being honest about it, if you're trying to be dishonest, I guess, so to speak. If somebody's telling you, hey man, love the new record, but can you play it maybe happier? Then maybe you learn it. Maybe you change your style or something. Because I remember with Featherweight, that's a popular song from my band. With Featherweight, people, when they first heard it, they liked it. And then my band members were like, maybe we should do this, maybe we should do that. And they changed it. And I didn't like it that much. But I was like, I'm trying to be democratic. And be like, the band, they got to have a say in some stuff too. And that's fine. But the problem is that it sucked. People were like, this fucking is terrible now, Pat. Why did you let them change the song? It sounds way worse. And I was like, But then after I stopped playing music with them, I went solo. I went back to the way it was. And sure enough, people like it again. So it's pretty funny how that goes. But yeah, like I said, it's very important to just be honest with your music. Because again, if you want to play covers, dude, do it. There's nothing wrong with covers. People aren't going to think you're a great songwriter, and that's okay. But if they think you're a good performer, cool. Elvis was a great performer. He didn't write shit. Elvis didn't know how to play music almost at all. He was just really interesting to watch. You know what I mean? Learn about the Beatles met Elvis and they were like, hello Elvis, how are you doing, mate? He's like, oh, I'm doing very good tonight. Hey boys doing? I heard you playing some music that's real different. And listen, Elvis, we're wondering how'd you make that song? Oh, I don't write my songs. You know how disappointed they were? They were like, fucking Elvis is a fraud. No, he plays good music. He just doesn't write it. But does that make him a bad musician? No. He just doesn't know what he's doing. People still like him. Robin says, play Blue. Do you want me to play Blue for you? Really? Would you like to hear Blue? Because I could play it. Do you want me to play it? Maybe stop spamming my chat then, nerd. Let someone else say something in the chat. Here, I got you. Yeah, don't spam my chat for a song request. We're talking. Jerk. Anyways, what else we got here? Let's see here. Joe1313 says, also, I learned how to play Obscene by Meshuggah. Oh, I know Meshuggah, but I don't know how to play any of their music. So, I just told people to stop spamming the chat, and then 2 other people immediately said, hey, can you play this song? You guys, I'm not playing music right now. We're just kind of hanging out. If maybe once in a while I'll play a riff or something, but no. Go back to, going on YouTube or something. We're talking. It says right there, let's chat. It says it. Bam says, who's better, AC/DC or Kiss? Oh, chat, I'm going to need you to weigh in on this one. No, it says it right there, genius. You're not stupid. Come on. It says we're not playing music. We're talking. Just be quiet. Get out of here. All right, anyways, I want to know from you guys. AC/DC or Kiss? Put it in the chat. I want to see what you guys think because I have an answer. But I would like to know. What do you guys think? AC/DC or Kiss? Let's see here. What do we got? I would love to know. All right, we got AC/DC. Wow, a lot of AC/DCs. Not very many Kisses. That's a funny thing to say. Let's see here. Joe says, play a riff from the one you like. I actually can't. And it's not because I don't know how to. It's because their music is actually forbidden on live stream. I will get an email. This is 100% true. I will get an email saying that my live stream has been blocked because I used unlicensed music. Isn't that crazy? It's 100% true because I played them on the show before many times. But I would get an email that says, you are not allowed to play this on stream. Your video has been completely removed. It's 100% true. Isn't that crazy? I've done it. All right. Let me tell you, Crud says, you sounded great earlier. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. You are awesome. Thanks, bud. Tox says, does that go for every band? No, Kimosabi. A lot of bands allow you to play their music licensed. They get paid for it. So if I play a copyrighted song on here, my video doesn't get removed, usually. But I can't monetize it. Same goes for most streaming platforms. And I'm not going to say their names because they get mad. But, yeah, happens. Look at Thomas being so cool. Aerosmith over both for me. Nobody fucking asked you, nerd. Why are you trying to make things about you? We're talking about AC/DC and Kiss. Also, I don't agree with that at all. But anyways, yeah, AC/DC is great, but get out of here. Anyways, let's see here. What do we got? All right, I will give you my answer to the question. What do you like better, AC/DC or Kiss? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let me get some theme music here. Ready? My answer is to who do I think is better? AC/DC or Kiss? That was really funny how that played as soon as that. Never mind. Here we go. I like AC/DC better. Kiss is great, though. Kiss is phenomenal. Kiss is great. AC/DC, Powerage. Come on, man. Powerage is so good. Think about it this way. How many albums from Kiss are good? How many albums from AC/DC are good? Enough said. Enough said. I love AC/DC. Kiss is great, but AC/DC makes you like. It's a lot of people's guitar hero. Angus Young and Malcolm. So good, man. That is like, Kiss is great. Don't get me wrong. Again, Detroit, Rock City. No, yeah, there's no, like, we're talking a difference of like a couple percentage points. You might as well love both of them. You know what I mean? They're both good. Beal says, please, bro. Please, bro, what? I didn't see it. Sorry. Treyu says, do you like Nirvana? Oh, yeah. It's my favorite band for sure. Hands down. Hands down, my favorite band. Love them. Caller says, I only like Kiss more for personal reasons. They're all personal reasons. You know what I mean? It's a personal preference. Some people like cucumbers better than pickles. You don't have to explain why. They're both good. They're both good. You know what I mean? AC/DC is great. I just like AC/DC better. Doesn't mean Kiss is a bad band. But I just know based off of objective, like, what I like better. That's objective right there. My opinion is that they are better. That doesn't matter. But based on how many albums I like versus the other one, how much they mean to me, one wins over the other. But that's okay. It's not a big deal. Let's see here. Beal says, teach me the beat of Smells Like Teen Spirit, please. I don't have a drum set, but the guitar part goes like this. I don't know. I don't have a drum set. Anything else? Any other questions? Folks, if you're just joining us, we're talking about music, guitar, video games, streaming. We're just kind of hanging out. What is the hardest song I know how to play? I don't know, man. I have no idea. I have no clue. I don't keep a record of like, man, this is my most difficult song. You know what I mean? I don't know. You could probably tell me. Inflicted says, what do you run sound out of? The internet. Goes right in there and it comes out of your phone. You're like, no, asshole. No, like, what is your guitar plugged into? I want to know what your computer's doing. I want to know what amp you're using, what effects you're using, what pickups are in that thing. If you'd like to know, I actually made a video. Most of it. From the strings to the picks, baby. It's linked in the channel description. It's in there, baby. Go look it up. Sonnen says, can we play something together? I don't know who you are. Sorry. I know you are talking to me. You're talking to me, right? Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? You're talking to me, right? You're talking to me? I'm the only one in your phone. You're talking to me, right? Anyways, yeah, I don't know who you are, so I don't know how I'm supposed to play music with you, buddy. Sorry. Let's see here. Anything else? You guys are talking a lot about music, man. This is great. This is fascinating. Let's see here. Thoughts on Pantera? Great band. Love them. Pantera, in my opinion, I've said this many times on the show, Pantera really took the torch from Metallica. I think Metallica was like, we're kind of done doing good music. We're going to get experimental, which I understand. And I'm not being critical of Metallica. I'm not saying they made bad music. But I'm saying they decided not to make commercially successful music. They just wanted to make what they wanted, which is fine. A lot of bands do that. Sometimes they just go, we made our money. Let's just make what makes us happy. And then all the fans get upset. Which is fair. Bethesda did it with Fallout. You know what I mean? Blizzard did it with Diablo and all the other games. Sometimes you make enough money to where you just don't care, which sucks as consumers. But it sucks for us. But you know, being in a band, it's just that's kind of how that goes. But I think Pantera were like, we'll make good music. We're hungry. We want to be, we want to be famous. We want to do our thing. And they took the torch and they said, we're going to do fucking cool metal music. And they did. And then they broke up. And then they did that whole, we're going to make our own weird music that people don't enjoy as much. But maybe some people do. It happens, man. Sometimes you get burnt out. Sometimes you make enough to where you just don't have to care about that. So it's okay. Yeah, Dimebag was a genius. So here's what's cool. Sometimes bands, and I'm not saying it's cool because they passed away, but I'm saying it's cool because they never got bad. They never went worse. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're Jimi Hendrix, and you go out on top. Sometimes you're Kurt Cobain. Peak of your excitement and your endeavors, it gets crystallized. Sometimes you are, trying to think, Stone Temple Pilots. Sometimes it goes way with Scott. Sometimes it's way after the peak of your stuff. People are still upset, but it just happens. So, yeah, Pantera, they took off where Metallica left off. So, it's pretty interesting. That's my opinion, at least. I Love says, do you like RPG games? What's your favorite? I love RPG games. There's a whole bunch of great games. Folks, if you're not tapping that screen, if you haven't followed or subscribed yet, by the way, make sure you do it. I play music here most of the time, but sometimes I just kind of hang out and talk to you guys. It's pretty cool. But as far as RPGs go, I would say some of my favorites would be most of the Bethesda games, even though I criticize them. So like Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Skyrim, Oblivion. I would say Fallout 4 if you have lore out, the mod pack, but that's a little different. Then you have Mass Effect 2, incredible RPG. Mass Effect 1's good, but Mass Effect 2, they just got it right. Then you have Baldur's Gate 3, incredible game. All the other Baldur's Gate games are interesting too, but that's the one that really picked up. Ironically, same company. That would be Divinity Original Sin 2. That game's incredible. A lot of great RPGs out there. I can't say I played all of them or most of them, but I played some of them. I like them. So there's a little short thing for you. NG says, how to escape pentatonic scale. We kind of talked about that earlier, but the bottom line is that if you're not unhappy with the pentatonic scale, you don't have to worry about it. Just play the pentatonic scale. That's okay. Some people literally never learn what scale they're in. That's fine too. But if you want to learn a different scale, just learn a different scale. Simple as that. I want to learn the major scale. Whoop. Sorry, I was in a different tuning. Learn the scale, dude. Sometimes you have to kind of admit to yourself, I don't want to learn new scales. That's fine. There's no rule that says you have to. You know what I mean? Just because the guy down the street can play a bunch of, crazy sweep picking and stuff, that doesn't mean you have to like his music. Maybe he's technically a better guitar player than you, but who cares? Well, it's not a competition. We're musicians. We're not in a race. We're not in a race car. We're trying to make good music. You know what I mean? Do you think Smells Like Teen Spirit is complicated? It's easy shit to play. It's a good song. Kurt Cobain couldn't even play a power chord correctly. I will stand on that hill, and I will die on that hill. Kurt Cobain, even though he's my favorite musician of all time, one of my favorite people of all time, could not play guitar very well. I'll be the first to admit that. He wrote really good songs, which is why I stopped trying to figure out a lot of stuff with guitar, even though I know probably way more than he did, because I can use my pinky with a fucking power chord. This is how Kurt, let me tell you guys, let me show you something about Kurt. This is, again, how to get out of the pentatonic thing. You don't have to. You can be successful when you write good music. But he played music like this. See my fingers? That is technically wrong. Now, he could play it. You can do it like that. It's fine. It's not against the law. It's not like the guitar police are going to arrest you. But when you do this, it creates problems. When you could just do this with your pinky. And for those of you we can't see what you're doing. I know. Let me get my camera. That's right. I have multiple cameras. You didn't know. It's okay. Don't worry about it. See my hand like this? See how it's... So if you do this... See, I can't get that last string. Sorry, that guy is in the way. Thank you for following, though. See how that's more clunky? So if you play a power chord like this, you're making it harder for yourself. You're allowed to do it, but you're making it harder for yourself. Again, you don't have to do that. That's how Kurt did it. It's just messier. It's not as controlled. And that's fine. So if you're trying to learn a scale, just learn a scale, dude. Don't worry about it too much. But if you're trying to like write different stuff, you're unsatisfied. That's the real thing. If you're unsatisfied with it. If you're like, just keep writing the same stuff. I knew a guy, really great guitar player. He could not get out of playing blues to save his life. He's awesome. But he would always play blues. No matter what we were doing, we weren't even playing blues. He'd be playing blues. I'm like, dude, it does not fit with what we're doing. This is weird. So, yeah, just learn some new scales. Yeah, I love him. He's great. Ethan says, what do you recommend I record songs I wrote on? Whatever you got. Whatever you got, man. Doesn't matter to me. I record a lot of stuff on my phone. I used to use a tape recorder back in the day. But that's because I'm a lot older than you think I am. Or maybe you think I'm exactly how old you think I am. Probably that now. It's been a couple years. Why are people saying goodnight to me in the other chat? You guys could just go to bed. It's okay. Thank you. You don't have to tell me. Just go to bed. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll see you when you come back. It happens. Do Enter Sandman? Oh, I don't want to bore everyone to tears. Sorry, man. Oh, if you're going to spam the chat, get out of here. Get out of here, nerd. Yeah, don't spam my chat. I think I'll play a song for you. Go ask your mom! Oh, I got to fix the tuning on this. Hold on. What's my favorite Nirvana song? I don't have one. I love them. They're all great. If I play it on the show, I love it. It's probably easier to tell you what songs I don't like from Nirvana. Jack says, I want to learn electric, but I can barely play acoustic. They're the same thing, man. I hate to tell you that. You can barely play acoustic. Electric is objectively easier, but it's the same rules. You know what I mean? It's the same rules. You're still pressing down on the strings. My advice to you, if you're struggling with acoustic, maybe get yourself some lighter strings. It makes it easier if you're not playing it. You think I play with heavy strings? I used to play with heavy strings all the time because that's what people told me. Because people are idiots. And they're like, Stevie Ray Vaughan played with very heavy strings. And so everyone else... No, they don't. No, you don't have to do that. Stevie Ray Vaughan did it because that's what he does. Jimi Hendrix played with light strings, and that's his idol. Play with some that makes you feel good. You know what I mean? This is the heaviest strings on a guitar that I have. These are 11s, but it's acoustic and it's tuned down. It's just not so bad. If you can't bend a string, if you can't bar with a pinky, that's too heavy for you. Get some lighter strings. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Anything else? Any other questions? Yeah, we're not really playing music. Thank you, Sparky. Thank you, Spark. Spork it. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I use 8s. Me and Billy Gibbons use 8s. Who are you going to listen to? The guys who play guitar for several hours a day? Or the guys who crash in hell? I'm just sorry. Sorry, Steve Ray Vaughan fans. That's also way too close to another person who passed away in a helicopter. Might be. But to be fair, who are you going to listen to? Just say it. What was my first guitar? People are like, you can't walk away from that joke. I know. I'm just saying. First guitar, it was a Strat copy. It was something called a Behringer, which is not even a guitar company. They were an amp company. Good. It was a pretty good guitar. I smashed it, though. But that was before I was on the internet. So, I know, Sparky. That's the joke. I was like, oh, whoops. Probably shouldn't joke about that right now. I stopped myself, but I still made the joke. Kobe. Inflicted says, how old were you when you played your first show? That's a great question. Somebody just subscribed me on Twitch. Thank you. How old was I when I first played my first song? Or first concert or first show? Well, it depends. Depends on what you mean by first show. If you mean like an open mic, or if I played at a garage, a garage show. I played at a cafe. I played at a real, I got paid venue. It's hard to say. Depends. What do you think counts as a first one? Onion says, does he read his TikTok chat? Yeah, I also read other chats, but just because I'm not paying attention to you, you relax. Oh, Cake says I wasn't here earlier. If you answered how long I've been playing, I did not answer. Nobody guessed it. Anything with a crowd, that's your metric? Okay, well, the first time I played in front of a crowd, I'd say I was like 15. That's when people would be like, Pat, come here. Hey, play his guitar. Hey, man, come over here. Play something real quick. Play that song. Play that Coheed song. And I'd be like, I would do that. That's before I would sing and play, so I would just play guitar. So I got away with being a mediocre guitar player though, because I can sing and play. So if you guys want to play guitar easier, learn how to sing. Let's see here. 22 years, says Cake. You're close. 20 years, buddy. Been playing guitar for 20 years now. 20 years. Oh no, actually, hold on. No, I think it's about 22 now. Yeah, it's almost 22. Because I keep thinking 2006 when I got that guitar. It's 2026, but I was playing guitar before that. So yeah, I would say when I was about 14. Yeah, you're about right, 22. Nightingale says, "Can you go up the fretboard in fifths?" Well, I only have 5 fingers. I'm just kidding. I know what you mean. No, I can't count to 5. Sorry. I play drums, so I only go to 4. My bad. Let's see here. Cheese says, bust out some Fall of Troy for me. That's okay. I like them, though. Thomas Arack. Is it Eric or Rack? I never say his name out loud. I'll just say shout out to Thomas. True story. True story. There's a video of Fall of Troy where they're talking. This is years and years ago. And they're like, listen, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to patent this. Copyright. Don't take my idea. They said, wouldn't it be cool if you had a waterfall backdrop during a live, you know what I'm saying? Have a giant waterfall backdrop when you're playing music on the stage. I was like, that's a really good idea. What if somebody had a giant thing of water in the background while they did stuff? Because it's really beautiful looking and all that stuff. Someday I'll do that. Let's see here. MJ says, hey, can you pray for my... Nah, whatever you're saying. I can already tell it's a weird thing. Get out of my chat. Yeah, that's what I thought. Cake says, play your favorite song from a video game. I only know a couple songs from video games. What can I play? Maybe I'll play something for you. Maybe. Something like that, right? What song is that? I don't remember how to play it. It's overplayed? What's overplayed? Something's overplayed? Oh, no. What's overplayed? Oh, Sparky got it right, dude. Inflicted says, you ever heard of a band called The Used? Yeah! They got a couple songs I like. Philip says, Stairway to Heaven? Stairway to Heaven? I think I know how to play it. Is that how it goes? I'm still disappointed that in Wayne's World they actually don't play the song. They play like a different couple notes. It's clearly not Stairway to Heaven, which I'm like, what the hell? When I was a kid, I remember watching that. I'm like, that's the wrong song. It really makes me wonder. Ooh, really makes me wonder. That's a beautiful song. I wish I knew how to play the whole thing. Oh, when they shot it, it was Stairway? Really? It didn't look like he was playing it right. Because you got to do this. It looked like he was playing it a lot. I'll have to watch it again. It's been a long time. Sparky says, I'm learning acoustic and want to switch to electric. What should I learn before switching to electric? There's no difference. It's the same fretboard. Same thing. It's the only difference between them is one is much quieter, requires an amplifier, and one's more comfortable, but that was the same rules. You know what I mean? It's like saying I'm thinking about switching from an SUV to a sedan. It's like this is both cars. one's bigger. I'll give you that. One is definitely one's cooler, so to speak. Little Benny says, any stones? Ask your mom. She'll tell you if I got stones. Oh, you mean the Rolling Stones? My bad. Sorry. Nope. No Rolling Stones. Nation says I can't learn the fretboard. I don't know either. Somebody wrote some dumb shit on mine, so I just kind of guess. Let's see here. CJ says, how do I get better at alternate or picking? Oh, interesting. So there's a couple ways to talk about this. So if those of you who don't know, most guitar players do use a guitar pick, but not all of them. So there's different ways to learn it. So some people will use their fingers. Travis picking, or they'll do like that classical style. I don't know how to do it because I don't practice it. But I'm going to tell you right now, the way you learn how to pick is you just got to start slow and low, baby. Got to go slow and low. Because, like, let me put it this way. I can play guitar. My brain knows how to play guitar, right? We already know this. If I want to play... it's there. So if I switch hands, though, if I switch it up, all that shit goes out the window. You know why? Because it's not just what's in your brain. It's about what you do with practice. You got to get your muscles, your fine-tuning motor skills. It's much, much harder to switch. You know what I mean? You can't really just pick up a guitar and change. See what I mean? It's all out the window. Barely play it. But if I played it slowly, and I tried my best, and then every day I try it a little bit more, I get a little bit better. I could probably do this without looking, but I can't. So that's what you got to do. Just gotta go slow and low. And then you learn how to play guitar. That's how you do it, baby. Brotato says, any tips for playing specifically finger picking? Same thing. Same rules apply, baby. Same stuff. Any bossa nova I know? Not legally. But I don't know. Was bossa nova like... That's bossa nova, right? Am I wrong? Mr. Firefire says, any new finals... I like that name, by the way. Any new finals songs coming out soon? I have no comment. Inflicted says, ever accidentally break a guitar? Yes. The first guitar I ever smashed, I actually cracked the body by putting it down on my foot like this. It was that motion. It was just that. That fast. And it just cracked the body. And I went, well, it's broken. So I smashed it. But it was accidental. I did it on accident first. Was that bossa nova? Yacht World? Would you call that bossa nova? I don't know what bossa nova is. Any tips for fast picking? Same stuff I said earlier. It's just, you got to go slow. You got to make sure the fine motor skills are good. You got to get those neurons. You got to build some new nerves in there. You can't just start playing fast. You can't. You got to walk before you run. You got to crawl before you walk. Got to build that stuff up. Got a good foundation. That's it. There's no secret. You just do it. Like, watch. Alternate picking where you go up and down. Pain in the ass for me to learn when I was like 15. Couldn't do it. I was like, you know what? The Ramones didn't do this. The Ramones always... The Ramones always downpicked my brother, bass player. He's like, all right, if you want to be bad. I was like, Metallica plays only downpicking. And then finally I was like, all right, let's do this. And I watched a video with Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. And I was like, whoa, no! No! And I just did that for like 2 weeks, and I learned how to do it. No big deal. Super, super easy. Just give yourself a little time. Get frustrated, take a break, come back. That's how you learn stuff, baby. That's how you do it. All right, well, I'm going to tell you something right now. If you guys enjoyed the chat that we had, we've been streaming for what, 2 hours? Well, I had a good time. Well, if you guys enjoyed it, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you like and subscribe. I don't know if I'm going to stay up any longer. It's what, 2 in the morning? For me, at least. I don't know what time it is for you, but I can't wait for people to be like, it's not 2 in the morning. I know. We live on different parts of the area of the world. But that's how it works for me. So, again, thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you like, subscribe. I'll be playing music tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in California, it's not 8 p.m. It's probably like 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. or what is it, 5 p.m.? Probably 5 p.m. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. Good night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. But if you want to hear music, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when I usually go live. So, and then I have a second channel. But we're going to be playing video games on that one. So that's what we usually do at this time. So main channel, Patrick Gnarly, that's me. 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I play music for you. If you want to hang out with me after the show, like we are now, it's a good idea if you want to. But again, thank you guys again so much for being here. If you want to listen to my music, that way next time you show up, you'll be like, hey, I listened to your shitty music. It was actually pretty good. Finals. That's my band. You can listen to it, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. There's acoustic stuff. There's rock stuff. There's metal adjacent, alternative rock, whatever you want to call it. Listen to it. Tell me what you think. Go check it out. It's linked in the channel description. You can find it there. Once again, thank you guys so much for being here. Good night. Stay gnarly. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.